You're making one right decision today. You're listening to Handcuffs and Sage.
Three badass moms bringing you all the true crime and paranormal your heart desires.
I'm Red.
I'm Timo.
I'm Dre. And don't let your kids listen. Seriously, just don't.
Hey, it's Handcuffs and Sage.
Woohoo!
Ooh, we're doing it. This is Red.
Hey, this is Timo.
Hey, this is Dre.
Oh my goodness, it's a down the rabbit hole episode. How
Yes.
you all doing?
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
You guys, I'm really excited about this episode, but it's a very emotional episode.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I cried
I did
and
too.
I watched this over and over and over again.
Mhm.
So if I cry, it's okay. You want to fucking cry, girl? You fucking cry,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
probably cry.
Fucking cry. Yep, that's right.
We have a lot of exciting things going on with the podcast right now, and I'm really excited to be doing it with y'all. And I'm just in a really good space and enjoying the ride a little bit. And I'm drinking my positivity, and I'm feeling the flow, man. I sprayed my energy spray all over my body like 3 times. I have really good energy right now. Can you
Cool.
feel it? I
Yeah.
hope you can
Yes.
feel my energy.
Yeah.
Big news. We can't go on with the story without covering what Dre's son did today.
Yes.
Oh my good. He got his driver's license today.
Yay.
You guys, I have been freaking out all morning because I knew that he was going to have this test. And I don't know about you guys, but when I have a test, I like the whole sweaty palms and like the nerves are crazy. And I swear to you, I felt like I was taking the test.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
I was sitting in the car like, did you check this? Did you do that? Did you read this?
Yes.
He was like, Mom, I'm fine. I know what I'm doing. It's fine. I know how to drive. I'm like, you're too overconfident. It's making me nervous. And it was just the best. He actually, you guys, I told you guys the story I'm going to share here. They inspect the car to make sure like the tires are good and like the lights all work and whatnot. And so then I'm like standing in the corner waiting for them to drive off. And then Ricky looks at me like with utter disappointment. And he's like, he flags me over. And I'm like, okay, well, what could be wrong, right? And the guy's like, your brake light doesn't work. And I'm like, show me. So he's like, look, it doesn't work. I said, but the light's on. And he's like, no, that's because the lights are on, but the brake light doesn't turn on. So he tells Ricky like, okay, put off the brake, put on the brake. Sure enough, the shit doesn't turn on. And I'm like, God dang it. So I'm like defeated. We just waited there for an hour for us to have to drive off, right? So I'm like, one last shot. So like I bang the car like 3 times. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. And like lo and behold, the shit turns on.
Yay!
So
It's a miracle.
Was it the tail brakes or like the third light brakey thing?
The brake
It was
light.
the tail light, like the back, the left light. The left light wasn't working, the brake light.
Oh yeah.
And
that's a
so
big
like
deal.
everybody, like there's like 20 people in line and they're like, ah!
Oh cool.
Hey!
I got all like hyped up, my hands went in the air and I was like, woo woo.
I love
Ricky's
it.
like,
I love it.
oh my God, Mom, stop. And I looked at the guy and I was like, this good, right? This good?
We're
is
all good here,
hilarious.
right?
Oh
I
my
love it.
And he
God.
was like, he's like, that's the magic. Mama knows best. And so like he got in the car and they did the test and he passed. It was just
Awesome.
bonkers. I can't believe that
Exhilarating.
happened.
Such
Yeah,
a good
totally.
feeling.
Yeah.
The same thing happened to me, Dre, right? I took my
Mhm.
daughter to take her test. The brake light was out and she didn't get to take it that day. And we had waited in line forever. It was so frustrating. I should have kicked the shit out of it like you.
You should have, yes.
Missed opportunity to hit my car. Okay. This is so fantastic. With this Down the Rabbit Hole series, we have been talking about Surviving Death, the series on Netflix. We're on episode 3, but it's Mediums part 2.
Right.
Okay. Y'all confused? Okay, me too.
Mhm.
This is a really emotional episode, but still fun at the same time. We still have a lot of fun
It's so
moments
much fun.
for y'all.
Buckle up, y'all, because you're gonna be in for a treat.
for real cheap. But it also brings up some really fantastic questions and really good points about mediums. So let's get this started. It starts off in Zenderen, Netherlands. Oh my gosh. We've talked about this. It's gorgeous. When they span over the area and the grass is just perfectly green, and this building looks like a castle, like slash church slash not. It's
mansion.
very nice.
Yeah.
Mansion.
Resort.
Right? Resort. It's gorgeous. It's insane. So when you go, Tima, I'm going to be so happy for you to be there. It's beautiful. So it's the mediumship training retreat. We've kind of talked about things that were going on there. And when we left off, we have Nicole, who is a physical medium, which has to do with ectoplasm, which
so
is the nasty.
Right. So it's a seance mediumship where physical manifestations come about, hence the ectoplasm. So yeah.
The ectoplasm still really trips me out. Just saying ectoplasm makes me feel filthy, dirty.
It's weird.
So Nicole is being strapped into a chair in the box, right, that they sit in for this physical medium thing, right? It's very dramatic. I got the feeling it was very dramatic. The people there for the training, this is what they've been looking for, is this seance, right? And so they're all sitting in the room. She's being strapped down. They close the curtain in front of her, and they're saying that they have to start singing. They're playing music to raise the vibrations, right? Now, a seance done this way has to be done in total darkness because it has to do with ectoplasm, and ectoplasm is very sensitive, I guess. Total darkness.
Yes.
Hang in there with me, y'all. So it's got to be in total darkness. So no cameras, but they're able to have audio. So we hear what's happening, right? Okay. So there's a prayer done. They're saying to keep the vibrations high. Like they all gave them some positivity, right? Energy spray. Vibrations are high, right? And then all of a sudden we hear on the audio, "Welcome, friends. Good evening." And it's Silver Cloud, y'all. Silver Cloud in the house, right? And then we hear all the people like, "Oh, hi," like happy to talk to Silver Cloud.
Hey, buddy.
It was hilarious. You know, singing, they're getting their vibrations going, and all of a sudden, right, you hear someone saying, "It's getting colder over here. Ooh, I feel some energy near my legs," right? So they're all like yelling out what they're feeling, like something's happening, right, in the room. They're raising their vibrations, y'all. They're really killing it. We got cold spots. We have energy spots, right? And then after Silver Cloud, we hear, who do we hear, Tina?
We hear Tommy.
Tommy.
But they kind of say, Silver Cloud kind of announces that Tommy may be on his way soon, and they are so excited.
Super duper
Tommy.
excited.
Yes.
Right. Correct.
And you know, he's like, at some point, I'm sure that Tommy is going to arrive, but it's Silver Cloud's voice, which I can't do because then I can't do Tommy for you guys tonight. But then the music that they're playing, they want them to sing. So it's not like your new age Enya, whatever music that you think that they would be playing. They are playing The Rose.
The Rose. Yes.
Yeah.
The best.
And there's a lot of people off key. Okay. Can I just say that?
Crazy.
This isn't a room full of singers. All right. But they're all having a great time. They're all into it. They're all singing off key. And they're feeling energy in cold spots, right?
Right.
So Silver Cloud did mention, you know, maybe Tommy's going to be here, right?
Right. So
and then
you hear, "Hi, guys!" And the group all together says, "Hi, Tommy."
Hi, Tommy.
Hi. Let me explain what I do for you that don't know. I'm responsible for the ectoplasm. So I've got a dirty job.
And everyone's like, "Oh, so funny, Tommy.
You're so hilarious.
You're
Oh my
so funny." Oh,
Guys.
my
And then that's it. That's all we hear
goodness.
from Tommy. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So then Frida comes, right? So Frida's the
Right.
third
So
spirit communicator.
Tommy
Mhm.
pieces out, right? And Frida is completely different. She's very sweet voice. Yes, my love. Yes, my love. Right. Very sweet. So you guys remember Amon? He has the most perfect man bun that's ever man bunned in the history of man bunning. Okay.
Right.
I love his energy. Such a sweet guy, right? And we had mentioned that his father passed, and then he had to do this really traumatizing thing, like put his body on the fire. It was like a whole thing.
Right.
Right?
Oh no. Yeah.
So sad. So sad.
Yeah.
Frida starts talking to Amon. So giving a reading, right? Not from Nicole, but from Frida. Does that make sense?
Frida's in charge of bringing over the loved ones from the spirit world. So she can bring any one of whoever's in the seance. And it happens to be Amon this time.
Right. So Frida is saying, yes, dear. Yes, dear. Your father is here. He's saying, Dita, Dita. What does this mean? Right. It means son in his language.
Right.
It means Dita. You know, what happened? What happened here? Right. She's got this very soothing, sweet voice, and Amon is getting very emotional, but this is really what he wanted during the whole training, was to make this connection. Remember?
Right.
He had that really awful, uncomfortable reading with that guy who had to like cut it.
And then he got blamed for it all like going downhill.
Yeah, because he wanted it to, man. Okay, friends. So Frida is bringing over his father, right? And so Amon is saying like what happened that day, right? He's trying to talk to his father. He's speaking in their language. And then he's saying that he can feel him, like in that room during this seance. He feels him there. He starts crying, like he starts, getting choked up because Frida is telling him that his father says, it's time to let this go. And, I saw what a responsibility you had to take on, right? It was very emotional. Like in my notes, I put, he's crying and I am crying. I am crying with him on right now. It was very, very emotional. I guess at one point, he said he felt his father kiss him on the forehead.
Yes, it's wild.
Oh, that gave me chills. You know what I mean? What a crazy moment. But I was really happy for him. I was. So after this segment, they're pulling Nicole out of her chamber. I mean, the chair.
Her box.
And they're all like inspecting her, right? And they're saying, oh, her cardigan is open now, right? When they sat her down, her buttons on her cardigan were buttoned, and now they're not buttoned, and it's like a miracle, right? So they were like freaking the fuck out. So her cardigan, I mean, mine comes undone when I've eaten too many nachos. So we don't even know what Nicole had for lunch. Okay. So they're making a big deal out of this. So Nicole just gets up. She doesn't say anything and she leaves, right? And she looks very tired, very drained. She says it takes about half an hour to an hour to feel like herself again. And, if she's doing all those voices, I get it, because I did 2 lines and my throat is killing me, right? And she does this like constantly, especially that Tommy one. She's got to hit some notes. She's got to hit some notes for Tommy. You know what I mean? It takes her a while to pull it back together. Nicole is saying that the spirit world did a marvelous job during the seance, and it's all about love and being healed. There's a lot of good things that I think come out of talking to mediums sometimes. This is an interesting situation to me. This is like a whole other ballpark thing. You know what I mean? If someone said, look, do you want to go to a seance with like a physical medium? I'd be like,
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's wild. I never learned about it.
It is wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's really, I mean,
fun to watch on a Netflix special, But do I want to do that? And do I want to sing off key and do all that weird shit? No, I don't.
Mm-mm.
It's almost cultish to me because the
Yes.
circle is like your group for life. Like you are committed
For
to the circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
No parties on Tuesdays, nothing. You're going to
No.
circle and you're sitting there and you're
Right.
singing the rows and you're making the vibrations happen.
That's right. This is your life now.
Right.
Spirit circle. Yeah. So it's very intense. So we go to Paris, France, to the International Institute of Metaphysics, which is very cool. So here's a collision of scientists and paranormal. So they want to make paranormal phenomenon happen under totally controlled conditions. Can they bring that together? See, stuff like that I find really interesting.
They
Because
want to
anyone
test
can
the
say
theory.
anything.
Right. They want to test the
I love
theory
it.
of any type
Yeah.
of paranormal phenomenon, but like in a lab, they want to, you know, be able to do like, you know, your scientific method and, you know, and do your steps and do all that other stuff. I don't think it works very well, but
Let's stay positive. It's very, very interesting and we love it every
but
moment.
then we
of
move
it.
on to something very strange. He goes to the
Yes,
safe
so-
and he pulls out these boxes and he starts
Mhm.
carefully unwrapping something out of these boxes, and they are molds of hands.
They're
and
they're
different-
wax molds, right?
Right.
He's pulling out these molds, and at first you're like, what the who? They're like little hands, right? And you're like, what the hell is this? This is
Mhm.
their right experiment or whatever that they've been working on. It's very interesting. But these molds were made by a physical medium, Phonic Kleski, okay? This is back like around 1920 that they were doing this experiment, and 9 molds were made by him. And
Mhm.
that's what we're looking at. Okay. It's Kleski, the medium, doing his physical mediumship, surrounded by 6 people who, you know, are scholars, an astronomer, like high ranking people, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, right? Because
Right.
they want to experiment this too. They want to know, is this real? So in the middle of all of them, they have heated water, right? They've taken heated water and then they've put wax on top of it. And they said that during the physical mediumship, that like this smoky substance or ectoplasm would come from, you know, behind Kleski, ooh, right? And then ooh, and then goes into the molds, into the hot water, coming up, and there's the mold.
Well, it was like a smoky kind of, you know, substance, and then it would slowly form into a hand, and then the hand would then dip itself into the wax.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you do when you
So-
get the paraffin pedicure at the nail salon.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
It so does.
Okay,
I
y'all.
know.
Let's do it. You talked me into it. So this is very interesting. So they of course need to be able to know that no magic tricks are being played here. So they added this special blue dye to the wax, so they knew that this mold has the same blue dye that's in the mold that we put in the middle, right? And it matched. It was the same. Okay.
Right.
So it wasn't like Kleski brought this from home and he like dropped it out of his pocket. Surprise, right?
Right.
That's not what happened here. Also, he was surrounded by 6 individuals that were watching him the entire time and watching his hands. And a very good point here is it's not like it was his hand size. These are molds of like children's hands and children's feet, which is a trip, dude.
It is. Yeah. Like a 5-year-old's hand and a 5-year-old's foot. It's wild.
It is.
He can't be using his own hand or his own foot because it would be humongous.
I mean, unless, oh, that's sad, Kleski. Damn. Okay, anyway, so then, you know, there was a period of time when Houdini was trying to then replicate how you would do this as a magic trick, which I just got a really big kick out of.
Houdini was like there. I could do a whole episode on Houdini and like the paranormal and the supernatural. He was big time into it, man. So
I know.
I might
what
do
a
an
trip.
episode on that. Yes, so wild.
Might.
Yeah.
No, you should. Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
just really, really interesting stuff. So then we hear about a physical medium in the UK. His name is Stuart Alexander, and he's been doing it for a long time, like 30, 40 years. So I feel bad for his spirit circle and their Tuesdays and all they've given up. That's rough. But he also is able to make molds with ectoplasm and things like that, which is very odd and interesting to me.
But he's so advanced that he can have light in the room, whereas Nicole can't. Nicole has to be in the total darkness, but because Stuart Alexander has been doing it for like 40 years, he's so advanced, but it's not white light. I think it's like a red light. So everything.
It's a red light.
Yeah. So it's still muffled, but not in total darkness. Yeah.
It reminds me of like this bougie ass bar that used to be up here in SCV. You know what I mean? It's be looking real bougie in that thing I'm from. Okay. So we're gonna go to New York City and we see Leslie's house, beautiful home. And Mike, and you guys remember Mike, right? He's the one that has a small addiction to mediums. But I do love Mike. I really do.
Little one.
I do. Small. So we have Mike, his mom Liz, and his sister Jen, and they all show up to Leslie's home, and they're going to be doing a seance remotely with Stuart Alexander, this physical medium, which I just was like, what is that? I don't know. It was like weird. The thought of that was like odd to me. You know what I mean? But
you guys, this was like nails on a chalkboard to me. This was excruciating. This whole experience was
painful.
Oh my God. It was absolutely horrifying.
This was me. I was like, oh, like shriveling up into my soul watching
my God.
it. It made me
It's
really
so sad.
uncomfortable. Let me say that I love Mike and his family so much. I love how much they love their dad. I love it. I don't want to cry. I love that Jen is saying my dad was just my guy.
I know,
right?
I know. And they're FaceTiming. They're doing this seance through FaceTime, and they're in New York, and Stuart is in England. This is bananas. This is bananas.
Do you want to explain what happens during this moment?
Yeah. So it's dark on their side. So they're basically looking at a dark screen. So I don't even think he has a red light going on. I think it's dark because they can hear like his circle, and they're, playing the music, and they're saying, there's people, it's coming, the vibrations. And then the spirit communicator of Stuart says, and is it a normal voice? It's just a normal voice, right? It's not any.
It was actually a little different, and it was very similar to Silver Cloud.
Okay, so it was kind of
I
like
even wrote that down.
Raspy.
Yes. And I was like, oh, interesting. Okay, I guess Silver Cloud's getting around. Okay, I guess.
So I'm not going to do the voice, but I'll say what the spirit communicator says.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I cannot begin to tell you how I've been looking forward to this very evening. There's a gentleman here, and he wishes to speak with his family. This is not going to be simple for him, but he wants to do his best. Then, oh my God. So the mother, Liz starts like screaming. She's like desperately screaming into the, into the computer. Robert, I'm here. I'm waiting for you. And it's like so desperate. It's so,
it hurt my God. Soul, because she wanted it so desperately. Come to me, Robert. I'm here. Bad. Oh my God. So it was painful. It was painful to watch that. It really was. So then what happened?
But then Robert starts talking, and he's very worse than Silver Cloud. It's like he's gasping for breath. And he's like, I see you. And they're like, Robert. He's all, yes. And then he goes, they're telling him, be careful, Robert. Steady now. You're getting too excited. And then he's like, I'm so sorry. like 3 different times. He's like telling them. And then of course, Liz, the mom's like, you don't need to be sorry. You didn't, you don't need to be sorry. And then he's like, I didn't want to go. I love you. And they're like, we love you, Dad. We love you. I mean, it's just so crazy. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like
I did not like it at all. It really bothered me. And then what was crazy bananas is after that, they were like happy about that experience.
Oh yeah. They were ecstatic,
felt
smiling and laughing. And then even Mike's like, I believed it. It was great. It pulled me out of this funk.
I don't understand why. I really don't, because it's not like they said anything at all for them to know, oh, this is real. And he's verifying this, and this. So we know it's real. Just somebody making a voice, saying fucked up things to a really sad, grieving family. And that's what really bothered me.
Right. And it's because they're so desperate to hear. It's like their whole brain doesn't really realize reality. They kind of go into this like ultra reality, and it was
crazy.
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible.
It was a lot. It was a lot. And, Mike was even saying, mediums it's addictive. And I thought, yes, Mike, I know you're addicted.
Yeah. But one thing that I was very proud of Mike to say, though, he said, if I do find out this is not real, it's going to be very, very hard for me. So he still kind of has in the back of his mind that, this may
he always does.
Yeah.
He always does. It's like this vicious cycle for him. It's a total addiction. So at Leslie's family home in Massachusetts, Mike, Jen, Liz, and the brother-in-law, Toma, they show up because they're going to do a trans demonstration with Nicole DeHaas. So
I guess traveling all over the country with Nicole.
I was seriously
what's going on?
How much do y'all shell out for all of these readings and here and there traveling? I'm just pointing it out. Who's got the money? Who's got the money, Mike? Who's paying for it?
I hate to say it, but is Netflix exploiting them and they flip the bill?
Okay, Netflix would never do that. I don't know why you're saying that. Okay, so they're going to do this thing with Nicole. So she's the physical medium that does Silver Cloud and Tommy Boy and Frida, but she's also a trans medium and a mental medium. So she can do it all. She can do it all. What's different with this is basically they still speak through her and through these people, but there's no ectoplasm involved.
I don't get it.
Okay, Nicole. All right, cool beans.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, what's the difference when you're in the dark or not in the dark? I don't get it.
Because the ectoplasm is sensitive to light. Okay. Stay on point here. Okay. So they're sitting in a circle. We know that the brother-in-law, Toma, is very skeptical. And I did make a note, he's fine. Okay. I think he's very attractive. Usually I like, heftier men, but I'm just thinking he is my cup of tea. I just really liked his vibe. Anyway, so he's very skeptical of the whole medium thing. So they're sitting in a circle. Nicole goes into her trance state. We have Silver Cloud coming through. Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with you. I am glad. And we have a lot of work to do today. Right? Wow, Silver Cloud. Wow. Okay. So then Silver Cloud leaves the party and then in walks the party. Hammer.
Yes. So one thing about Nicole is her whole demeanor changes. So when she turns into Silver Cloud, she's kind of hunched over. She seems very old. Her mouth gets like this really weird straight thing. It's weird how her mouth forms. And then when she turns into Tommy, she kind of like, jumps up. She's kind of like, hey, she does like a little gasp and a little whisper. And her mouth is still straight, but she's kind of talking like she's like a ventriloquist.
Yes.
So we hear,
yes.
Hi, guys. So, of course, that's his go-to hello. Hi, guys. So, and then of course everybody's all, hi, Talia. They're all so excited. Tommy's here.
Woo!
And then Tommy goes, it's so different to be in another place, you know? And of course the circle's like, yeah, do you like it here, Tommy? Yes. Hi, Leslie. So now he knows he's in Leslie's house, I guess. And she's like, hi, Tommy, how are you? I'm fine. I like your home. I'm glad. Yes. And he does say yes quite a bit. The woman's like, these people are getting really excited. And he's like, are they? And I forget that during this time, I can't do it, but I can't do the voice and the British accent at the same time. It's very difficult.
It's so hard. It's a lot.
But Tommy is speaking with a British accent in this voice, but I can do this one part. I'm fine. I like your home. Your home.
I wish everyone could see your face when you do Tommy, because it's just the best. And I can't stop laughing. I love it. You should always talk.
Oh my God. I love it. Okay. So again, the woman says, they're really excited, Tommy. He's like, are they? Are you? Like, he's like, you speak up to me. You guys talk to me. And then everyone's like, yes. And they're all laughing. Yes, I like the hair. That's what I like to hear. Yes, yes, yes. And then he says, I see a gentleman. You're new here. And of course, the hot brother-in-law goes, yes. And he's smiling. Yes. And then they're all laughing. What's your name, sir? And he says, Toma. Toma. Would you understand your grandfather, Andrew? And he's like, yes. And now the wife is sitting next to him, and she's kind of like freaking out. She's freaking the fuck out.
Jen is crying. She's she's crying.
She's gasping. She can't believe what she's hearing. Yes, he's here. He says you like fish. You eat them and you sell them. And they're like, yes. And then of course Tommy says yes again. He's like, because he's saying to me, there's a shop being in the family for few generations. Yes. Would you understand? Hook them up. What's that? He's like, what does that mean? So he's almost talking like a little child that doesn't understand. And he's like, what does that mean? Like, tell me. So Toma explains that they own a fish restaurant. And when a customer calls in to make an order, his father says, could you hook them up? Like, basically, like, yeah, like, get them their food, hook them up, get them a good meal. So that's what Tommy is asking him. And then just out of the blue, he's like, and do you like cars? And he's like, yeah. Did you have an ugly green one at one time? And Jen is bawling. He's laughing.
Yeah,
he's
Jen
like,
is losing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Toma's like, well, I don't think it's ugly, but yeah.
I don't think it was ugly.
And then poor Tommy goes, it looked like the color of a frog.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. And then it's like, okay, that's it. And then he's like, yes, but your family's here to share with you how much they love you. So please take their love and fish. And they're like, and then he does his yes, yes again. And they're just flabbergasted about all this information. And then finally Tommy says, well, thank you all for speaking. Bye-bye. Real fast, like, peace out. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It was actually like really crazy, right? When we're going through this moment, I was like, oh shit. Like everything, he was like, yes, right? I was like, oh shit, right? So I was like getting excited, right? So then Freda comes in, right? Sweet Freda. She's there and she's saying, yes, dear. With the two women beside me, please hold my hand, dear. Yes, dear. I'm sorry, my hand is very cold. My hand is very cold. Yes, dear. Okay. I have Roseanne here. And she is your sister-in-law, correct? Yes, this is right. Yes. She recently passed. Yes, that's right. Mid-April. Yes, dear, mid-April. Yes. And she was a minister of the church. Yes, dear, that is right. That's correct. She is doing well. She needs you to know not to worry. She is doing very well. right? And then Frida goes away.
Right.
And then Nicole, I, it just is spectacular. Nicole goes, like an 8-year-old bad actor in a NyQuil goddamn commercial.
Oh my gosh, it's so wild. She grunts, I put down, she grunts, she gasps, and she shakes her head to the left a little bit, and then she just awakens.
Oh, it was seriously a moment. I watched that moment over and over again. I was like, okay, girl, okay, you got the voices down, honey, but let's work on, the transition back because it looks fake as shit. I wouldn't have been surprised at that moment if she didn't do like a full yawn, like with her arms like outstretched. Okay, it was kind of crazy. Nicole, of course, because she's exhausted, gets up, doesn't say shit. She fucking leaves the room. Right? She's got to do her thing. And Mike is instantly like, she didn't give me that code word because he wants to hear something specific, right? And he didn't hear it. Okay. So they were all like talking about, crazy stuff she said, just so spot on, right? Because there was moments you're listening, you're like, oh shit, oh, that's crazy. And then they're like, every little thing could have been Googled and had been recently like on Facebook, like everything, every single thing. And the hook 'em up is on the front of their menu that's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right. So all of these things. And so the feeling, this to me was insane. Their little family that I love was super stoked after Stuart Alexander's weird ass reading that didn't make fucking sense. And then after Nicole's reading, they were all like, she Googled it all, right? They weren't having that same feeling, right?
Right.
And
For
so
sure.
that, it really brought something up that is so true because she did know who was going to be there, right? She had done readings with them before.
Right.
It would be very easy now for mediums to look those things up.
Well, Mike even says that when they're walking into Leslie's home, he's like, no, this is going to be difficult because Nicole knows us. So that's why he did the whole secret code word to hopefully see if she could do something other than what she had been doing in the past. But unfortunately, and then the disappointment, and he was like, hook him up though, hook him up. And they're like, yeah, that's on our menu. And he's like, throws his arms up in the air and he's like, oh, God damn it. And he like walks away and he's just like so disappointed in it all.
Yeah, she failed.
Yeah. So like he just throws his hands up in the air and he is just so disappointed in the whole thing.
Yeah, I feel like she really did fail the family because he was looking for that, he was. And to know that all of this stuff, especially like even when they Googled like Roseanne's obituary and it showed right in there that she was a Eucharist minister. It was like, oh, come on. Like we all felt that moment where we threw our arms in the air. Like, you've got to be fucking kidding me, you know? And I always go back to like Netflix. You couldn't find a real medium. Give me a break. Because
you have to have Tommy. Tommy's the best. I mean, they could have hired me. I could do Tommy just fine. But you know what, really, after that, Leslie and Nicole are sitting out there and they're having like a little, convo with each other. And, Leslie's basically telling Nicole, with the internet out now and everything that can be found on social media, it's making your job harder. And Nicole's almost like playing stupid at this point. She's like, yeah, no, I don't have an issue with that. Like, no, there's no problems with that. Nobody really. I was like, huh? What girl? What are you talking about? It just didn't. Yeah, no. And the mediums today.
It's like she's trying to pretend it didn't exist, but you have to acknowledge that it does. She's going to pretend it didn't. It's like, when I know that my son ate the chocolate because it's all over his face.
Right.
Like, I know where the chocolate went.
I don't know where. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Don't take advantage of families, that's the thing.
That really hit home because really you are playing with emotions. I hope things are on the up and up. I mean, I think we're all smart enough to know that there's con artists out there and they're taking advantage really of people's grief and emotion. That really bums me out, honestly. So then we go back to the Society of Cyclical Research. the archives in Cambridge, England, right? And they're talking about how a lot of physical mediums did get caught cheating back in the day, right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Just looking at that old book again with those old ghost pics, and some of these pictures, it's like there's a
Are
piece of cotton coming
fantastic.
out of this person's mouth, and then there's like a full formed like ghost off into the corner. It looks like a little cartoon character. It doesn't even
I
look
don't
like,
know why. I know they're so fakey fake, but I still really like them. Like I kind of want one. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah,
Mhm.
oh yeah, me too.
I
We need to go to some
really-
antique places and see if we can find some of that shit, because
We could
that would
just
be the bomb.
recreate our own and
Oh.
take pictures. How about
Oh my
that?
gosh, yes, we
So
can do that.
I get a kick out of these photos, but really these physical mediums usually had an accomplice, right? That helped
Mhm.
them pull all this stuff off. They were talking about what a cold reading is. So a cold reading, you sit down with someone and really you're taking cues from maybe body language,
Mhm.
words, things that they're saying, right, to give a reading, right?
Exactly.
So then
right.
a hot reading is you're straight up taking info from like social media, Google and all that stuff, and then just right putting it into
Oh, yeah.
into the reading. And I'm sure that's a real issue.
Yeah. I mean, well, for your, like if you make an appointment to go see somebody, but like if you go to like a rando place, like say the Venice Boardwalk, that's cold reading straight out. They're taking cues from you. And they also said you
Mhm.
don't actually know how much you actually are
Oh,
talking
yeah.
in that situation, and how much information you're actually feeding that person then to like come back and work it.
Yes, and it's really hard because I know that that's a thing. When I do a reading, I really just try not to even like give anything, like try to
Mhm.
be quiet. But there are times when you do, but be conscious that in that moment you did, right? You gave maybe a little
Mhm.
bit more. They want to monitor brain activity, right? We're looking at the science aspect of this. We have a medium there that they're going to look at his brain activity when he's giving a reading, right? His name is Andrew Bing. And y'all, mustache
Mustache
ride!
ride!
It's like a cartoon.
It's so
It's
awesome.
unbelievable. And he has a serious look on his face with that
The
mustache.
curly
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
he has the wax and everything going on with the curly cues.
Yes, you know
Mhm.
he's got all the oils up on his bathroom sink, and he is ready every morning to be fab. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So he's there. He's the medium that they're going to be using for that day. They put this crazy thing on his head, and it looks ridiculous. It's a good time though. So they put the cap on his head. They're trying to look and see if there's differences in brain activity, different spots of the brain
Mhm.
during a reading. And I thought it was really interesting that they said that there is something with psychics or mediums where their gamma band lights up. And so they say that like this is why maybe a medium will say, okay, I'm gonna like raise my vibration to be able to like get to this point. And
Mhm.
usually when they're like taking the time to do that, they can see that gamma band light up in a lot of them. So I did think that that was interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
It's pretty
Because
crazy. Uh-huh.
science. Right. But there is nothing for sure. They have to do this to a ton of people and look at the data and kind of see what's there. So it's interesting that they're looking into it. I'm a
Right.
fan. So Mike is talking to us and he's just letting us know he has seen a lot of mediums. I know we're all shocked to hear this, Mike. But that he really didn't get like that genuine feeling with Nicole's trans reading.
Right.
And that feeling is really important. You want to feel like that medium was genuine. She could feel whatever. She was pulling out the right information. And that's not what they got with Nicole. Okay. So we meet Sue, and Sue is Liz's friend. And I love Sue. She's very sweet.
Yeah.
She is so sweet. Oh, Liz. Liz's friend Sue is so darn sweet. Sue's daughter died when she was 35 from drugs. And this had just happened 2 years before. And you know, 2 years is like nothing. 2
Yeah.
years feels like yesterday, right? So
Right.
she's really
Still
been
grieving.
struggling.
Yeah, she's really grieving still. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and you just hear it and feel it from her, right? You know, Susan's sitting there and she's kind of like sharing her story. They're sitting at a table outside. It's beautiful outside. And, you know, they're just talking as friends. And Susan is just saying, you know, getting out of bed is the hardest thing to do. You know, you don't want to get up. I understand that feeling. And
Mm-hmm.
knowing that she's going through that, it, you know, it's hard. It is hard. So this was the part that was really emotional for me.
Yeah.
And I did cry a lot. It was really hard. But
Well,
her daughter, Katie.
Well, she goes to see, you know, Laura, what's her name? Laura
Lynn.
Lynn.
Laura Lynn Jackson.
Good
Right.
one. Oh,
With the
believe it.
hair, and she is the real deal, I think. I think she really, really is.
I love her. And what I love is that, you know, this really isn't Sue's thing, but she said that Katie, her daughter, really was into the paranormal. She was our girl, right? She was into it. And so I think because of that and because of her friend Liz, she agreed to this. But you can tell this is out of her comfort zone.
Oh, yeah, for sure. She did not want to do this, but she's just like, okay, like, yeah. And then
she's being a trooper in this situation.
And even Laura,
I love Laura Lynn.
Yeah, she says, the universe did this. We didn't do this. The universe did this. Right off the bat, she says that. So crazy.
Yes. I love Laura Lynn Jackson so much. I love her black chairs. They're fabulous.
Oh yeah.
I really want to know like how much a reading with her costs, because I'm going to be honest, y'all, I will go out and do nitty gritty to get a reading with Laura Lynn. Okay. I will do things I'm not proud of because I want a reading with Laura Lynn. I just think that would be such a fantastic thing to do. I just love her energy. Right. So right before the reading, you know, Sue is kind of talking what she's hoping for with this reading. And she, you know, she just wants to know that Katie's okay. She gets choked up. I get choked up. She said that, you know, she had a really difficult life, you know, and that she wants to know if there was anything she could have done to save her, right? You just know that this is a grieving mom and she's in a lot of pain. So I'm really glad she's seeing Laura. They sit down in the fabulous chairs. And Laura does this thing, and I haven't seen other mediums do it, but I thought it was interesting. Yeah. She does, she covers her eyes like this, almost like a kid ready to do peekaboo. So she always takes a moment to do this, like to get into like maybe that higher vibration, right? Her gamma band is lighting up. And she does a core aura reading first. Have you heard of a core aura reading first? No, I thought that, yeah. She said that she felt like a lot of green around Sue, that she has major soul challenges in this life. And that really it's about embracing that change. And this change has specifically happened within the last 3 years. And we do know that that's correct, right? Laura says to Sue, this is the real soul test of your lifetime, that this is a profound loss.
Yep, makes sense.
And absolutely. And to me, that statement, your soul test of your lifetime, I think we're all here for a reason. I think we all have that thing. And this is her test, right? And so Laura says she keeps hearing, Mom, Mom, Mom. And she said that, I started crying.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I
broke down.
Of all the things that she could have said, she hears Mom, Mom, Mom. That, yeah. I have the chills. So
I'm a mess, right? And then she goes, oh, is there a child on the other side? And she's, you know, is saying yes. And Laura is saying to her, like, I know that you want to be very private in your grief, right? And Sue seems like that type, like she just tries to deal, right?
Well, she's a nurse too, so you're kind of like, right?
Used
Dre,
to handling kind of the like, shit, right?
You see it, you see death, and you kind of deal with it, and you deal with the grief. You kind of just become numb, maybe because of it. Yeah. Yeah,
She's
It makes
see
you
her.
stoic because in those moments you have to be stoic and you can't
Yes.
show your emotions. So it does cause a little bit of that, like what we see with her completely. Yeah.
Yes. So then Laura says to her, and being here today is huge for you because she is such a private person, because she does try to be the strong person. And then Laura says, I keep hearing a name like Carrie or Kari, or, you know, it's like she's trying to get that sound out. And Sue says, it's Katie, right? So similar, Katie. And Laura is saying, she's saying, thank you so much. And it's like she just wants to hug you, right? And then she says, you know, you're just like the best mom in the world. You're a great mom. And you can feel like it's almost like Katie saying it to her. Am I crying? Am I a hot mess? Yes,
yes.
I am a hot mess watching this. Okay. And then she says, and don't you think for a second there was anything you could have done? There was nothing you could have done, right?
And that's exactly what she wanted to hear, and she gave it to her
That's
without any like triggers or anything. She got it. She got what she wanted.
just Niagara Falls over here in my
Completely.
house.
Wild. I love Laura Lynn. I love Laura Lynn so much.
I love her, love her. And then she's saying, you know, you need to let this go, that she is happy. She is surrounded by love and light and beauty, and she needs you to be okay, right? And I love the way Laura speaks from the heart. She's very heartfelt and loving, right? When she's doing this reading, I just love her. And then she says, is there like something in your zipper pouch in your purse? She wants you to show it to me. And Sue's like this for a second, right?
Right.
And then she's like, well, it's in my pocket. And then Laura says, but it was in your purse first, right? And she said, yes. And then she put it in her pocket, right? She said, well, she wants you to show it to me. And she thinks it's just so great that she got you here, and she's right. She's making you show this thing to me, right? And so she pulls this out of her pocket. It's a necklace, and it's Katie's fingerprint that she had made into okay, crying, like
God.
tissues surrounding me, you guys. It was a mess. So she has this necklace. It has Katie's fingerprints on it. And Laura says, she said, touch it. She said, touch it. She said, and that's how close you guys are. And Sue was like, oh, and I'm like, oh, right. We're all just dying right now. And she said, she's just always with you, right? She's always with you. And then she's like, and Katie wants me to hug you. Do you understand that? And I was like, I understand that. I need a hug too right now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So she just gives Sue the biggest hug. And in my notes, I'm crying. So then Sue, I swear on everything, after this reading and she's sitting down to talk about it, she looks like a completely different person. Honestly, she was just
yes.
She needed to hear these things.
Yes,
it was like a weight was off her shoulders. It was incredible to see that.
She was in such a funk, in a depression, and now she was like, it looked like she could just live again.
That made me so happy for her, really. And that's why I think it is important, because sometimes when you're grieving, you need to know you couldn't have done anything. They are with you. They need you to be okay, right? Sometimes we need to hear those things. And Nicole, we see Nicole talking about how, it's really hard for mediums these days, right? Because they think we're frauds a lot, and that's just something we have to deal with. And I'm like, well, you might be, Nicole, so we'll check into that.
Yeah.
Laura is explaining that this is really this reading, or getting readings, is just a doorway, honestly, to begin a bigger conversation with yourself about really what's out there, what's possible, what happens on the other side, that there are signs everywhere, right? And that we can communicate with our loved ones always, and that you should always look for these signs, right? So then we see these clips of signs, right?
Yeah. Wait, real quick. Red, one thing I love about Laura and that little part that she's talking about is this is her living. She does this for a living. And she straight out says it's the biggest fallacy that tells anybody that they have to see a medium to feel this, to get these messages.
Right.
And she's basically
I
telling
love it.
you, like, you don't need to come see me. You can get a sign on your own. You can do this on your own. And that's another reason why I love her so much.
I want to sit in one of those black chairs someday. Okay. That's what I'm going to put on my bucket list.
Yeah, we will.
All of a sudden we see this clip. We're in someone's kitchen and we're seeing the lights above the kitchen just doing a crazy ass light show. Like,
yes.
Like you're on E, you're 15, you've got the pacifier in your mouth. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You've been there.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening in the kitchen. It's just like, and then we have this couple saying, yeah, like this was happening and it was a sign and it was amazing. And you're like, what's the story here? And then they show a woman saying, you know, my mother was going to pass away. And I would always say to my mother, I want to know that you're okay. I want you to send me a sign. I want you to send me a cardinal so I know you're okay. And then the next clip, you see her and her sister holding a live cardinal.
Oh, that's like so crazy.
In the house.
Like, so that's what they left us with. That's it. That's
it was
3.
Bananas.
Oh,
it was so
gosh.
cute. She goes to like throw the cardinal, like, okay, go fly away. And then she throws it in the air and it goes back.
It's like, no, I like you. I want to be with you. I don't want to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're going to be
and
beautiful.
Sign.
Didn't the sisters live in California where like cardinals are not common here? And this random cardinal. Yeah. What? And it's letting them hold it in a, no, stop it. No. That's wild.
Y'all need to stop with the crazy signs. Just kidding. We want more. We love them.
Yes.
I'm very excited about the next episode.
Oh yeah, me too.
Loved this one. It was just very emotional, y'all. But anything to hear Tommy's voice. Anything to hear Tommy's voice. Y'all can hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, all the things. We love to hear from you, of course, all the time. When we get messages, it makes our day. We love it. You guys can be badasses and leave a review on iTunes. It legit takes 2 seconds. Just do it, right? Just do it. So check out our Patreon page. We have 3 different levels that you can help your favorite gals out. We'll send you out some fun swag and you get videos before anyone else. So you guys are super special. What else? Oh, email us. Hello, handcuffsandsage@gmail.com and our website, handcuffsandsagepodcast.com. Yay! Woo! I did it.
Yay! And we're gonna.
Timo's like, yay!
Yay!
Nope.
We're gonna start having a lot of our events now. Back onto our website, so that's gonna be fun. You get to see like what we're up to and what we're doing. Fun.
Hey, yeah. I have a question.
What?
You guys ready for the whittle of the week?
Yeah.
Of the week. You guys. We always forget the whittle of the week, but I love doing it.
Oh, good.
Whittle of the week. All right, girl,
all right.
give it to us.
Yeah. Well,
all right. So the question was the short and sweet.
Right.
What does a hooker buy at the furniture store?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I wanted to say something so clever, and I had
me too.
nothing.
Yeah.
I'm super embarrassed. Like a lazy boy, maybe a nice recliner, but like at a good price. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh, I think she just went for a one-night stand.
But a one night stand. I get it.
Yeah.
All right, girl. I'm ready for a brand new whittle of the week. Give it.
All right. These are this one's for the dirty birdies. I love my dirty birdies. What do an eggplant, a penis, a celery, and a cucumber have in common?
They all go in an Easter basket. Oh!
no.
Oh my goodness.
So eggplant, celery,
Penis.
penis.
And a cucumber.
They're all
What do
fallacies.
they all have in common?
They're all phallic. Well,
We're not guessing right now.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
Dang. All right, y'all, send us your guesses and we'll let you know yay or nay. We love to hear from you. Goodwill of the week. I dig it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Are you guys ready?
Yep.
And just like you, we
have questions.
Boy, guys.
Oh, wow. Bye, Tommy.
Woo!
Bye.
Later, Tommy.
Bye.
Later. Handcuffs and Sage is hosted by Red, Timo, and Trey in a shitty guest room in Los Angeles.
Theme music is Leave Now by We Are Wasted. Cover art done by Megan Winchester.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Show us some love on iTunes. Be a badass and do what you want. Until next time.